Hi, this is Zach May with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Monday, the 27th of October. Starting off with the FTSE 100, and you can see that we're very close to the top of that rising trend channel there from June. We've been following that for quite some weeks. Top of the channel there, 96.80, maybe up to 96.90, depending on how optimistic you are. So we've got about 40, 50 points to go. End of day close above 96.90. We're looking at a best case scenario target, that red May resistance line projection, as high as 98.30, which we're looking for by the end of next month. On the downside, hoping that we won't see anything lower than 95.77, which was the initial October resistance. Obviously, we could overlap a bit below that, but that's the kind of area that we're hoping will stay above in the interim. The DAX is next, and here it's been, well, it was a rather slow price action situation. It still is that, just resting above the 50-day line there, just under 24,000. A small RSI 50 rebound, so we're sort of regarding this as half full rather than half empty, and expecting and hoping for a move up to the top of that rising trend channel from April, as high as 26,000 by the end of next month, while we remain above, especially while we remain above the 50-day line, and while we're above the floor of the channel there at 23,600 as a worst-case scenario support zone. The Dow is next. Obviously, we looked at that yesterday, and here you can see the weekend ended beautifully with the push to record highs. We're looking for 48,300 by the end of next month, especially after the latest RSI 50 plus rebound there. And that tends to be a decent leading indicator on the upside. If there is a rug pull or Trump scare, then the 50-day line there, 45,900, is hopefully the support zone as it was earlier this month and also at the beginning of August. Moving along to the cryptos, and here you can see that we've made a positive development here for Bitcoin, pushing above the now rising 50-day line. We've got the rising 50 and 200-day line, so it could be that that little bear trap down towards 104 was the low, sort of a lasting low for this market, through the 116 area, which was recent resistance earlier this month, looking for obviously the record high 126 and best case up to 135 in the top of that channel there from February by the end of next month. Obviously, that's the kind of shot in the arm that bulls of crypto will be looking for, especially the Bitcoin treasury people as well. Ethereum is next, and here this has been a bit of a laggard, so we're really hoping get a proper move here, and we actually have got a push through or towards the 50-day moving average there at 42.27. Above that, looking for that main resistance line there from August as high as 46.50. Looking for that by the end of next month. Ideally, as we've said quite a few times, we want to see this market stay above 4,000. If not, it would be the uptrend line there from April, 38.60, which hopefully keep this market under control. The other point to note is that we have broken back above RSI 50. We just got that resistance line in the RSI window at 57 to break, which could then unleash a proper move, a decent move to the upside, 4,500 plus. Gold is next, and here, obviously, we've had the push. We had a very strong push towards record highs there, so towards the 4,400 zone. Current situations, we're hoping that support will be found at or above the 4,000 level. It's the psychological level. The top of the old rising trend channel is around 39.70, so maybe that will provide support. Maybe stop a few people out who are hoping that the market will stay above 4,000. RSI still above neutral 50, so that is a positive in terms of this market finding support from the old resistance line, 39.70, towards 4,000. In terms of the upside, recent resistance has been towards 41.80, so that would be at least the first port of call, hopefully, for gold on any recovery. Moving along to the stocks, and a few weird ones I picked today just because there aren't that many, and also it's nice to sort of look for fresh situations. Here we've got the situation at Agronomics, double bear trap rebound from below the 200-day line there at around 6.6 pence. We've had an RSI 50 plus rebound as well. We're back above the 50-day line at 6.8 pence and looking for up to 10 pence by the end of next month. It's a punchy call, but it looks like a pretty punchy chart at the moment as well. So hopefully Agronomics will do the trick. Moving on to Audioboom, where Shares have flipped back above the £6 level. The old resistance last month around 560. So in a way, we've had a higher low above that in the last few sessions, which is, I suppose, helpful after the 50-day moving average rebound that we had earlier this month. View now is that while we're above that 570, 580 zone, we could and hopefully will retest the best levels of this month towards the 745 level. Remember, before the call was that if we could break 775, we could then perhaps head up to the £12 level. Obviously, we never quite got to 775, and some people didn't understand that, but here we are having another go. RSI 50 rebound as well, so hopefully at least the 745 level is in the can over coming days. Moving along to a stock which is not exactly on the front pages, Frontier IP, but pushing through that 200-day line there at 21 pence, above that looking for 30 pence by the end of next month. We had an unfilled gap to the upside, and we've got a rising 50-day line there as well, so looking quite strong there for that situation. Light Sciences next, and here the shares have gapped up again, I think on the latest RNS. Here we were looking for 7.5 pence once we broke 4.5 pence, and it looks as though that will be a done deal in coming days, especially with the latest news. And ideally, we now stay on the right side of 6 pence ahead of a move to 7.5 pence. You can see from the chart that once we get through that 7 to 8 pence area, the shares could start to take off. So that is quite an interesting situation at the moment. Moving on to New Frontier Minerals, and here you can see that we've got a little, what I call a U-shaped or V-shaped bull flag, looking for the shares to get up to 1.25 pence by the end of next month, while they remain on the right side of 0.8 pence, which hopefully they can do. You see the 50 and 200-day lines crossing as well on that situation. From memory, there was a bit of sort of controversy, etc., going on at Newmark Security. But you can see here that in terms of the charting, we are heading quickly towards our the top of the initial target there, around 135. Hopefully, that will arrive in coming days. The next level up is as high as £1.70, which is a best case scenario target we're looking for by the end of next month. Ideally, we now stay above the recent support, intraday support, towards the £1.10 level. So looking pretty chirpy there on Newmark. Strategic Minerals is next, and obviously the transformation here. We've got this what looks like a mid-move consolidation. We're above the previous target there, a penny, which is nice, and looking for up to 1.3 pence by the end of next month. Two strong RSI 50 plus rebounds, so it looks like the momentum still well and truly there on that one. I've been moaning about TAP Global, always finding a seller towards 3 pence. And what can we see now is that on this occasion, and especially with the recent direct buying and move into institutional Bitcoin trading, you can see that the shares seem to be rather stronger at 3 pence than they have been. In fact, they've exceeded it. The initial target here was 3.6 pence, which we haven't quite hit yet. After that, looking for 5.5 pence as soon as the end of next month. If we can stay above recent support around 2.75 pence, you can see we had the RSI 50 rebound earlier this month. Requested stock, which I covered yesterday, and it's back again today with a decent 10% rise. We see Euro Metals breaking the previous target there around 10 pence, and we're now looking for 14 pence, as I think I said yesterday. The other point to note is that we've had multiple RSI 50 plus rebounds, and also we're going into a golden cross over the next week or so. So hopefully that will power the shares towards 14 pence early in November, given that the run up to the golden cross or a golden cross tends to be the strongest part in the cycle. Finishing off with Xtract Resources, where we bounced off the 50-day line, got rising 50 and 200-day lines there. Looking for the top of the channel there from the summer of last year, 1.25 pence by the end of next month. And given the lay of the land in terms of all the small resources companies, I think this should be the time when the shares go over the top, and especially while they stay above the 50-day line at 0.8 pence. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.